We went through a really competitive 2024 cycle with a lot of interesting and intriguing races, and 2026 is shaping up to be the same.
We begin tonight with some major political news. Michigan U.S. Senator Gary Peters announcing today he will not be seeking a third term in office, leaving yet another sought-after position open for the 2026 election. Peters' retirement leaves Michigan with its second open Senate seat in as many election cycles, putting Democrats back on defense and creating new career opportunities for some of the state's top leaders. In our top story, 9 and 10 Sheldon Krause has more about Peters' decision to retire and who could end up taking his place.
You know, last week we had what was going to shape up to be three probably really competitive statewide races, and now we've got a fourth.
U.S. Senator Gary Peters' decision is leaving Michigan with an open Senate seat and setting the stage for another hard-fought campaign in 2026.
Voters seem to indicate almost every election cycle they want change, and they're going to get it in 2026.
In addition to Peters' Senate seat, the state will also elect a new governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General, along with the entire State House and Senate. Governor Gretchen Whitmer said Tuesday that she won't seek Peters' seat, and Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson announced her gubernatorial campaign last week. Remaining Democrats include Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, Attorney General Dana Nessel, State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and a handful of U.S. and state representatives.
What the Democrats are now going to have to try to do is separate out all those good candidates and see if they can get them to avoid challenging each other in a primary.
Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who lives in Traverse City, is also said to be considering a campaign for Senate or governor.
Certainly looking for a new role and some other place to keep his name around and to maybe potentially build on for a future run for the White House. He makes a lot of sense.
The Republican bench has fewer recognizable names, but Peters' announcement has opened a new path for potential candidates.
The GOP nomination for Senate was kind of like a backwater. People weren't talking about it a lot. Nobody of any serious stature was excited to take on Gary Peters again.
John James, a current U.S. representative who ran for Senate in 2018 and 2020, has yet to rule out another campaign. Other former candidates could emerge, including 2022 gubernatorial nominee Tudor Dixon and former Congressman Mike Rogers, who lost his 2024 Senate race by less than 20,000 votes.
Peters clearly reading the political tea leaves as it's become more difficult to win statewide as a Democrat, and maybe just deciding that another term wasn't really in him and it was time to get out.
With more than 21 months to go until Election Day, Michigan is set for yet another competitive cycle. In Lansing, Sheldon Krause, 9 and 10 News.
And now let's take a look at what Michigan is losing on Capitol Hill when Peters leaves office in 2026. Michigan has a voice on the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, where he is chairman. Peters and other lawmakers look at what works financially and efficiently in the federal government. He was also the first Michigan senator to serve on the Senate Appropriations Committee in decades. That means he played a role in moving federal resources to other government agencies and our national defense. He also served on the Armed Services Committee and the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee and dozens of Senate subcommittees. Make sure to check back with 9 and 10 News for more on Peters' announcements and the other races already kicking off for 2026.